Bet Online is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, Bet Online is your ultimate game day companion with the largest selection of odds on everything from NBA and college basketball to NHL and UFC. Bet Online continues to be your number one sports betting source for every three-pointer to hat trick. Bet Online has you covered with odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win. Bet Online, the game starts here.
Yeah. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports Coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like Elf. I thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your chain for the championship. Bucking on town, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy and you probably smell the crooked referees on Roger Goodell. Yeah, running like this and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like this and I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
All right. Shout out to the mighty Who Dat Nation. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You know, rocking with the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys, where we have intense, entertaining, educating, and enlightening sport talk from your favorite sports fam. Shout out to the mighty Who Dat Nation. Hope you guys have had a fantastic start of your week. As Easter weekend is behind us, we're into the regular week, and I hope you guys have had a fantastic weekend. Family, all that gravy stuff, good. Shout out to everybody. Appreciate y'all being in the live. I appreciate y'all for being in the stream. Much love to all the diehards, the great Saint Tank, the wonderful, beautiful Who Dat Nation, man. Much love to the kings and queens of the Coma. We up in this thing Monday, getting it started. Draft week, we're finally here. Millions of mocks, dozens of rumors, millions of rumors, hundreds of rumors. We're finally at the point where we're facing down the draft. Monday's gone. We got Tuesday, Wednesday, then draft time is coming. Of course, we know that the Pelicans will have a press conference tomorrow at 1 o'clock. We know that the Saints will have a press conference the following day, I think it is, on Wednesday. And then, of course, Thursday is the first round of the draft. Friday is round 2 and 3, and Saturday is the rest of the rounds 4 through 7. So we'll know. And then, of course, one of the favorite portions of the draft is the non-drafted guys of the college free agents that slip through the cracks. And we'll have an opportunity after the draft to see who those guys are. You know, the Saints always seem to line up some really good ones after the draft. So that's also a very good part after the draft is over with, and all of the information comes flooding in about who the Saints sign as college free agents or undrafted free agents or UDFAs. So that'll be good to see as well. So we'll get up into some of the news, man. Shout out to the fam. I'm going to try not to keep y'all too long on tonight's stream. It's Poppy 504, Cartel, OG Jerry. All right, Tay, shout out to Tay as well. Brother Ro, how you doing, Ro? Shout out to you, brother Clint. Jaden, big ups to you, fam. Appreciate you as well. What's up, Trey? Shout out to my boy Trey is in this thing as well. Big ups to brother Byron. Who else we got in here, man? I think I got everybody so far, man. What's up, Chemo? Shout out to you, brother. Good to see you in the stream. King Blood, how you doing, sir? All right. Much love, man. Good to see all y'all in here, man, in this thing. All right. So I think I got everybody. What's up, V Griffin? Shout out to you, brother Bronze. What's up there? What's up, Kai? Shout out to Kai, the great man. Much love to that brother, and much love to everybody, man. Appreciate y'all. What's up, Corey? How you doing, sir? Shout out to Corey Covington, man. Good to see you, brother. I mean, I see you there. All right, big ups to the fam. So what? This is the thing. As we hearing the draft rumors, and the talking point is now that the Saints are not interested in Shedeur Sanders anymore. For whatever reason, now they're pivoting toward Jackson Dart as the guy. So there were rumors that was put out by that Adam Schefter that Saints already have made exploratory calls about trading up in the second round per league sources. This and other insights that they talk about in terms of the report. And we'll cover that, man, because we'll just kind of talk about that thing, fam, because the Saints, this is sourced from it or inspired by the article right here. As ESPN's Adam Schefter reports, the Saints have made exploratory calls regarding the trade up from pick number 40. Now, Schefter believes more quarterbacks could be taken in the first 8 picks of the second round than the entire first round, with the Browns and Giants currently holding number 33 and 34. New Orleans would likely need to move up to get their pick, whoever remains. Now, should they move up or sit back at pick number 40, Schefter thinks Ole Miss QB Jackson Dart could figure to be squarely in play for the Saints. While the belief is that the Saints want to draft a quarterback, there is skepticism whether they should take Dart at 9 overall because of the offensive line and defensive line needs. One personal exec believes the Saints are not high on Colorado quarterback Shedeur Sanders and thinks they are, quote, hot and heavy on Dart. So you take him, first round draft pick means the guy's going to play. I don't know if they feel like if you take him in the second round, it all it does is he doesn't get that option on that contract that you usually give those first rounders. But if you take Dart, and I'm not saying this is the call, just the thought process is that Dart ultimately will be seen when you take quarterback in the second round, he still will be seen as a starter unless you got a starter in place. You get what I'm saying? It's the pressure will still be on him to be the guy. So the thing is, it's a lot of stuff that they're saying, like some quarterbacks are getting elevated into the second round that some people thought wasn't second round quarterbacks, but this is nothing new. They do this every year, and it's really motivated or promoted for quarterbacks, the diva position, ultimately the ultimate diva position. So you looking at it and you say, okay, well, if you pay attention to the past, we always see quarterbacks elevated higher than what they're supposed to be. So I'm hearing stuff like Jackson Dart in the second round, which there was talks that Jackson Dart could end up being in the first round, later on in the first, that's kind of stuff. Then I'm hearing Jalen Milroe is now elevated, which he was supposed to be somewhere in the third round. Now he's going into the second round. So a lot of people starting to see him. And like I said, it depends on where these guys go and how you use these guys. Like Jackson Dart has some talent. He has a strong arm. He has the athletic ability. He's decisive. He gets the gunslinger thing going on. And like we had KT, shout out to my brother KT, man. We came on the show, kind of talked about the Jackson Dart thing. He seen Corral. Like, you remember Matt Corral, old Golden Corral we used to have that played for the Carolina Panthers, who didn't have a good career there. KT believes that a lot of that, and a lot of people are hearing that the talking point is that it's the system. It's a wide open system, and Monty Kiffin's Ole Miss style of play, and they believe that is what's contributing to the high number. So people are kind of backing off that thing. Me personally, I think this kid is way better than Matt Golden Corral, or not Golden Corral, depending on how you look at him. All right, and then of course, Dart's 21. He was a four-star recruit, number 2 player in Utah, and the 13 overall QB in 21 recruiting class. Committed to USC in December of 2020. Spent 1 year before entering the transfer portal. 4 years transfer, was ranked number 3 quarterback in the class of 22. He committed to Ole Miss and spent the next 3 seasons with Ole Miss. Now, he appeared in 45 games for the folks over 4 seasons and completed over 65% of his passes for just under 12,000 yards, 81 touchdowns against 27 interceptions, and he rushed 393 times for 1,500 yards, 1,541 to be precise, and 14 touchdowns. So it's always an elevated value on guys that are seen as dual threat guys. So you'll see a guy like Jalen Milroe, or you see a guy like Jackson Dart go higher than what they're supposed to be because of the ability, the duality to be able to throw and pass. And like if you look at a guy like Jalen Milroe is a guy that has all this speed and all this kind of stuff and some positive stuff to him. But at the end of the day, you know, you got to watch that kind of stuff. So anyway, let's go into this article right here. Let's kind of break it down, and we'll kind of listen to a couple of breakdowns from some of these guys, and then we'll bounce back to a few of these articles and go from there. But let's take a listen to what ESPN had to say about Jackson Dart and the prospects of being with the Saints. Y'all put one in the chat if y'all can hear this.
So the arm strength is there, the physical talent is there. I think that if you're going to draft Jackson Dart, you want to utilize the athleticism, the quarterback run early, and just see how much he feels space in the middle of the field. A lot of the throws at Ole Miss were downfield. And I think the more that you get comfortable with what his comfort level is with that, you know how to kind of build your offense around him.
I love that. And as I look at it, is what you're saying, it's trying to find the right fit for him, because some of the stuff you're describing, you look at the Pittsburgh Steelers with the weapons they have on the outside, crossing routes, down the field throws, seem like they fit just who he is
100%.
as a quarterback. I called his game against Alabama 2 years ago, and what stood out to me was the toughness.
Yeah.
I remember him scrambling, getting smacked by a middle linebacker over the middle, and I'm up in the booth, and all I'm thinking about is slide, and he jumps right back up and continues to be in the game and continues to compete. So I look at this as a quarterback coming from a defensive perspective. When I have a guy in the huddle that I know is going to compete his butt off, can make every single throw, and has the moxie to be a leader, that's a guy I want under center.
We'll get to Mina in a minute, but Adam, you had something to add.
Yeah, it's interesting because these quarterbacks each have proponents in various cities across the league. But the one thing that's come back is there are people across the league who believe that the Saints really like Jackson Dart. And that may be the target of moving up in the second round. We'll see if the Saints can figure out a way to land Jackson Dart at that.
All right, hold on, fam. We have a little issue right there. But the bottom line is Adam Schefter's going to break them down. Hold on, fam. I'm going to bounce back to it. All right.
The thing that's come back is there are people across the league who believe that the Saints really like Jackson Dart. And that may be the target of moving up in the second round. We'll see if the Saints can figure out a way to land Jackson Dart if that's true. But I can tell you, there's a feeling across the league that the quarterback that the Saints really happen to like in this particular draft class is none other than Jackson Dart.
Yeah, I like the quote there.
All right, so that's Adam Schefter's, and we're getting closer and closer to the draft with a couple of days off of it. And what would be the logic in that, okay? You know, the Shedeur Sanders thing, why wouldn't that be the thing? Everything that's been Shedeur, and then this could be two things. One of the things could be a ploy by the Saints to throw some cold water on the fact that they like Shedeur, because everybody knows that they like Shedeur. And then there are, you know, teams that like him that might be aggressive to move ahead of other Saints to get it, or the capital to move up to go and get them might not be what they're looking for. So you always got to have a backup plan, you know, and if he's not the guy, then if Shedeur is not available, if somebody moves up to get Shedeur, because like I said, I don't think if he's there at 9, you can't pass on him if you're the Saints, especially if you sit up here and you're looking for a franchise quarterback, a guy like that to come in and do his in the face of the team, that sort of thing. You can't pass on him. So if he's not available, then what do? If the Saints are moving up, and the process is to move up in the second round, that means that if Shedeur Sanders isn't there, then you pivot and get the BPA, best player available, which more than likely might be an offensive lineman or perhaps a defensive lineman. Because if you look at the Saints offensive line, they can use some help. They can use a couple of offensive linemen in this draft, to be honest with you. They can use you. I could see the Saints taking two of them, at least two linemen, maybe one a little high and one maybe a mid somewhere in there. But they can definitely use some help because they didn't address that situation in free agency. The Saints simply didn't. They added Dylan Runnels as a left guard. They brought back Will Clapp and the other fellow. So is that enough? No, it's not enough. So you still have some moves to make there, and the Dylan Runnels was a 1-year prove-it deal. So the Saints, and then of course you have issues, like I said, with other players. Like it's just other stuff going on. The new offensive lineman got to come in and see about what he needs to do to get it corrected. But in the end, thank you, appreciate it. So in the end, what happens to have here is pretty simple. We'll have to see how this all plays, because the bottom line is you take a look at what the Saints are, doing in offensive defense. We know offensive line. If the Saints going to have that kind of success to win games, I mean games north of 7-8 games, you're going to have a strong offensive line. Whoever's back there. Whoever you're going to have back there, you're going to have a solid offensive line to protect and run the football. That's the bottom line. A deep line, and have to get in these offensive line. Head coach will have to get these guys like a Cesar Salad Ruiz and all these guys, get them off their ass and make them earn that money. Trevor Penning, his development, making the next step. Tolly getting better. Whoever the left guard is going to be. Sees McCoy, a really good backup for McCoy in case he gets hurt again. So that's what I'm looking at here. So I could see them taking Pierce. If Shedeur's not there, I could see them going to Pierce. I could see them going to Campbell if he's there, or one of the top offensive linemen that's there. Because it's hard to pass up on those guys because those guys are like 10-year starters. You draft a Mimbo or Campbell, or you get one of those type of guys, man. Them guys, and put them in there, that you got like a 10-year starter right there. Pierce is a plug and play player and perfect for that 34 system the Saints have. He would be perfect for that. So, I mean, at the end of the day, we'll see exactly where they go with this stuff if Shedeur, but you always got to have fallback plans because there is a line. You're not willing to give up too much to jump up because the process of thinking is the Saints still need a lot of stuff to do. Like, you got 3 players, maybe that more than 4 players that'll be counted on to win games in 2025, 2026 season. And that is, you're looking at some of these guys, the veterans like Tyrann Mathieu, Taysom Hill, Demario Davis, and even to some degree Cam Jordan. All of those are older players, and every last one of them players have 1 year remaining on their contract. Every last one of them. 1 playable year anyway. It's a ton of voided years on each one of their deals. That's the kick in the can bull crap from the cartoon character known as Mickey Lomas. But at the end of the day, you have to at some point and consider, picking the future guys there because your DBs are off the chain. You're gonna have linebackers that are really good. One of the family members in the comment section say, "Q, we're not talking about linebackers enough." You're true, bro. You're right. You're not talking about linebackers too much, and you're right. Demario Davis, the heir to Demario Davis is not on the team. I don't think so. Anthony Orji and all these guys are good little, good special teams players, but you're going to need a linebacker that's going to help out there. Perhaps you take them in the 3rd or whatever, depending on how it falls, because they're going to have a lot of players available, and those first 3 rounds are going to be off the chain for the Saints, depending on how they address it. I don't think they'll take every pick that they have, but you can see them having some movement with some of these picks, depending on where they go. But you try to pencil or kind of mark off as many needs to your team as you possibly can. You know what I mean? You get that? We'll see how it all goes, fam, but that's what I see. If you have a fallback option and it's not really working for you like you really want it to work and this type of thing, then you got to have a plan. You can't just, this other guy gets here and then, hold on, we're screwed now. No, you got to have a fallback option for everything because you never know what might happen in the draft. If Shedeur goes there, man, it'll be cool. But if not, they obviously feel good about Jackson Dart. And moving up to a certain area of the 2nd round, if he's not there at 40, they believe that certain teams, they got information about other teams, what they're looking at. They don't share that with you, but the jostling is and the movement is because they got rumors, this information that such and such wants to get to this player at such and such. They see him as the line right here, so you trying to jump ahead of them. That's how the information flowed for Kansas City that year when they leaped ahead of the Saints to grab Mahomes. So, I mean, we'll see how it all goes. It happened every year. It's just chess going on. But anyway, let's keep it going, fam. Like I said, this is something we talk about. That's past to go to this one here. This is Bucky Brooks here, his thought process on about Shedeur. Here we go.
Fiction here on path to the draft because sometimes we need to determine if things are truthful or if they are coming courtesy of a lying liar who lies, like Cynthia likes to reference. We'll start with you, Bucky. Fact or fiction, Shedeur Sanders is taken before the Saints are on the clock at number 9.
Fiction. It's unfortunate. I think he should be taken before then, but he won't be. And so then the Saints have to make a decision at 9 if he goes. And if he doesn't go 9 with the Saints, it could be a long day for Shedeur Sanders, despite what I think is the talent to be a franchise quarterback. But yeah, it's going to be tough. Fiction.
Well, maybe someone sneaks up with the Panthers and grabs him at 8.
All right, so there you go. That's Bucky Brooks. He believes that Shedeur won't be there at 9. Like I said, the slide is ridiculous. It's some bull crap. It's artificial. I think it's smoke screen, all this kind of stuff, because he hadn't done anything to demolish to take down his ranking. He hadn't done anything off the field or anything that's you could be classified as why he's dropping. He didn't say anything extremely rough or rude to have him to have this ridiculous drop that's going on. So a lot of that, I believe, is a bunch of garbage. His medicals are not bad, because that's another thing that happened. Either it's something criminal or something happened, or some medicals. And his medicals, none of that's happening. So this is just artificial. Let's hear what this is. Todd McShay. McShay didn't disappeared off into the woods somewhere. Got his own stuff. Let's hear what he had to say on what's his name? I forgot the man name. Y'all know the guy from ESPN. I forgot the man. What's his name? I forgot his name.
Where do you got
Rich
Shedeur
Eisen.
landing?
There you go.
3 days before the draft. Where do you got him landing?
It's been a lot of fun having those conversations, because nobody seems to specifically know. What I've been told is there's a little bit more love in the Giants building on the personnel side. There's the scouting department, the coaching staff, not so much. What I understand is this last push, like how about them jumping and grabbing that private plane, the Mara family private plane, and it's Boulder on Thursday, Tuscaloosa on Friday, then over to Louisville on Saturday. And everyone was like, wait, they're going to work out Shedeur. I think what got lost in all the messaging and the news is, well, they also worked out Milroe and they worked out Schuck. This was about the second wave of quarterbacks, is my feeling. Now, again, there are still some people in that building that are, from what I'm hearing, kind of pushing for, or at least being like, we need to consider Shedeur at 3. I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's going to be Abdul Carter at 3. So now it's fascinating, because the most recent information I'm getting, Mike Tomlin does like Shedeur Sanders. I think that I thought that it was like, that's the floor. I think it's a softer floor than people might think, though, at Pittsburgh. I've been told it might not even be 50% chance that they take him at 21. And I've also been told, hey, this is an organization. They don't have a second-round pick because of the DK Metcalf trade. Maybe they're a team that would want to kind of dangle it and trade back. But who's going to trade up? My information is I don't think Cleveland's going to trade back up for Shedeur. I don't know that Cleveland's even going to trade back into the first round. I think all these teams are looking at it saying, are all these guys going to fall? Is Jackson Dart going to be available at 33, 34? Is Shedeur going to be available at 33, 34? So it's going to be a fascinating night. There's going to be a lot of speculation and rumors, I'm sure, in the next 72 hours. But as of right now, I can't say firmly that there's a floor. The closest thing we have is still Pittsburgh, but that's not a lock according to what people are saying. And honestly, the conversations I'm having, there's more talk about where do we have to go up in the 20s to get Jackson Dart than there is about there's one or two teams that are buying. I think New Orleans more interested in Dart. I think maybe the coaching staff for the Giants could be more interested in Dart. And so if that's the case, it may be more of a sweepstakes to get in that 20s range. Maybe Minnesota, only the fewest picks of any team in the NFL this year, 4 picks. Maybe Minnesota's a team that could trade back out in the middle of the 20s for a team looking to move up to go get Dart, like New Orleans or the Giants. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Like you on that desk, Shedeur's still sitting at home or wherever he's going to be. Jackson Dart accepted his invitation. Now he's rescinded it. He's not going to be there in Green Bay. So it's going to be a lot of fun trying to figure out where these quarterbacks go, as always is the case. But this year is going to be kind of wild.
The team that
I'm not buying it, man. I'm sorry, man. And then the talk is now Dart, who, like you heard McShay say, now he's listed, second round quarterback now. It's just a lot going on. So Jackson Dart is elevating, the Shedeur is dropping to the 20s. I mean, and listen, we remember when Lamar Jackson came out, right? And I'm not comparing the two in terms of talent. But I remember Lamar Jackson was a guy that a lot of people thought would go with somewhere within the top 15. Lamar kind of slid on out to what, 20s? And he made people pay for that too. That was on his hit list. But you know, it doesn't, as far as Shedeur Sanders is concerned, it's the weirdest thing. I'm just gonna be honest. To me, it's totally ridiculous. There is no reason why he should fall out of the top 10 at all. There's no reason why he should fall out of the top 15. His medicals aren't bad. His play was still in, like they have Cam, like Cam is, they done elevated Cam to some place where, oh, he's just the number one. What? Shedeur they were 1A and 1B. Now all of a sudden they aren't. I don't know. It's kind of weird, man. I'm not buying it. There's no information to justify what's going on with these teams. It's nothing. So in my mind, I've seen it to the point where I'm like, man, this is totally artificial. This is totally artificial. If Shedeur Sanders is there, what's up, KB? Shout out to you, brother. I see you. What's up, Pammy? Shout out to you, baby. Good to see you in the chat. Much love. Jerome, I see you, fam. And shout out to OG, man. Thank you for being a member for almost a year, brother. Thank you for that. Appreciate it.
I want to say thank you very much for picking me up, bringing me back to this world.
All right. What's up, Kathleen? Shout out to you, Queen. Good to see you. L-Dub, what's happening, brother? I don't see why, this is, it's just the foolish thing that I'm saying right here. I watched Shedeur Sanders. And what I've seen from Shedeur Sanders is that he's a top 10 quarterback. For him to be falling anywhere or thought to be falling out of the first, I heard people say he falling out the first round. Why? Explain it to me. Who's pushing him out of there? They can't even say another quarterback is pushing him. That's one thing if you have another quarterback that's underneath that's pushing him out of there because people seeing him better. That's not even the case. And a handful of people see Jackson Dart as a first round draft pick. I mean, a handful of people. That's why the move is to jostle to get into as high as they can in the second round to justify, because some people believe he's not a first round talent. Well, there's no question in my mind that Shedeur is. So I just want to see how all this plays on draft night, because it's so many mixed messages from insiders is ridiculous. But I maintain, I'm going to say the same thing that I've been saying, is that Shedeur Sanders is a top 10 quarterback. Be a top 10 pick in this draft. And I think there's a lot of smoke screen BS that's going on to try to diminish that. Because like I said, it's the damnedest thing, with him, and it's nothing wrong with this guy. But anyway, let's finish it up, man, because it's very interesting. I just play this stuff for you, and then we'll see how I play on draft night.
That is not quarterback needy, that will take a quarterback in this year's draft is Todd McShay? Which one?
I could see Miami at some point. I think the Jets are in the market, but I think more third, fourth round. Okay. I think the Rams at the right quarterback.
Hold on.
Which one? Back needy that will take a quarterback in this year's draft is Todd McShay? Which one?
I could see Miami at some point. I think the Jets are in the market, but I think more third, fourth round. Okay. I think the Rams at the right quarterback at the right spot, day 2, maybe early day 3. I think we're going to see, obviously, Ward go 1. Then I think somewhere in the mid-20s, we'll see that second quarterback come off the board. I'd bet the under on 2.5 in quarterbacks at this moment in the first round. Then I think we've got 33, Cleveland, 34, Giants, 40, New Orleans, whichever of those teams doesn't trade up. I think you could see a couple quarterbacks go in that range. Then I think we're going to go a while on Friday night, but pick 41 towards the very end. Maybe a team takes one of those third-tier quarterbacks. And Milroe is obviously the wild card. He's going to go on day 2, according to everyone I talked to. I don't know where that landing spot is. But then I think you get into that Will Howard, Riley Leonard, McCord from Syracuse. I think those guys will be probably Saturday guys, but I think one of them maybe could sneak into that late third round range. Maybe it's Chip Kelly with the Raiders late on day 2.
Just totally ridiculous, man. So Shedeur is going to go, and some people believe in the second round with guys like Jackson Dart and Jalen Milroe. Really? Let me tell you something, man. We'll see how it all plays. But if I'm the Saints, and I'm not believing the garbage what all these people are saying, if you need a quarterback, and the Saints obviously are saying they want a franchise quarterback for Kellen Moore. If Shedeur Sanders is there at nine, you get him. If he's not, then you pivot to something else. You go with the BPA. You get you that defensive end. Pierce is, I talked about Pierce. You get you, if the offensive lineman is there, you get them. Because there are there's a lot of wide receivers that you can pivot to get, if that's the case. The tight end class is loaded. The running back class is loaded. The linebacker class is loaded. I mean, this is a good, solid draft for DBs. But like I said, the quarterback position is the diva position. And the Saints obviously looking for that, man. And to me, I just think it'll be a world-class idiot move if they pass on a man and you then trade up in the second round and to get Jackson. What? So we'll see. We'll see how it all goes. I just find it really interesting how all this stuff just seemed to, how the jibber jabber between all these insiders, and it's all different. On Shedeur, oh Cam, they know Cam number one overseen. Oh yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like what's up, Charlie? Shout out to you, man. I see you, fam. Appreciate you. All right, but yeah, this is the crazy part about it, isn't that, fam? What do y'all think? There's a poll question up, man. Get the word heard. Get heard. There's a poll question up to the family members out there that's asking if the Saints pass on Shedeur, miss or pass, meaning that somebody else got him or they simply just passed on him. Would you take Jackson Dart in the second round? Being that you're going to need a quarterback. So right now, 72% of the Who Dat Nation telling me yes. 17 says no, and what's that? 10 of them, 10% says, I don't know, Q. So that's a resounding number of people that's saying, yeah, you take them. We can win with them, Q. We're going to have to. So I respect your mind. At some point, you're going to want to have a quarterback in there competing with Spencer Rattler. That's what I want to see. Whoever the guy is. I really just like it to be Shedeur Sanders because I like his style. I like his high IQ. They talk about all this stuff. You can talk about how Cam Ward can wing it from different angles. He got the gun. He light up offense. Not saying that he's not intelligent, because he is, but Shedeur Sanders got it up here. He really do. He has it up here. He has the poise. He's poised. He's highly intelligent. He got the bloodline of a Hall of Fame player. He would be a good quarterback to build the next 10 plus years of your franchise around. He would be terrific if he's there. So we'll see. I'm telling you, I don't think he slides, but if he does, the Saints have to take him. You got to take him. You can't pass on him. And you have him, put him in the room with Spencer Rattler and let them two guys go at it, man. Now that'll be some real good football in the OTAs leading into the training camp. Could you imagine the dueling of Spencer and Shedeur going at each other for the starting job? Man, come on. That's iron sharpening iron, baby. That's what I'm talking about. But then again, we'll see how it all. We ain't got that far to wait. Got into Thursday when all this stuff will happen, man. But man, oh man, this stuff is absolutely crazy. How these insiders are saying, "Oh, I'm hearing this. Oh no, I'm hearing this. I'm hearing that he ain't gonna be there. Oh, I'm hearing that he gonna make it to the 20s. Oh no, I'm hearing that he ain't even a first round quarterback. He a second round quarterback with Milroe and Jackson Dart. Everybody know that don't sound right. Everybody know that don't sound right. You don't put Shedeur Sanders in the same class as Jackson Dart. No disrespect to Jackson Dart or Jalen Milroe. But this guy played at a high level for 4 years, man. Complete quarterback play, showed a lot. He don't have to be running a 4.5 whatever at quarterback the way he played. I mean, golly. Now it was one guy. He ain't 6'2" no more. He's 6'1.5". That's the new thing now. Oh, he don't have a big arm, and they shrink him. Oh, he ain't tall. He ain't a big quarterback. Like, shut up with this Shedeur thing. I can't wait for this is over with, man, to get all this, because he's the only one they treating like this. These other guys ain't, that's crazy. Anyway, let's move to this final article, fam. Then we'll bounce to Q&A with the fam and see what y'all got. Any questions, please feel free to throw them in the chat. All right, this article right here, shout out to Yard Barker, says Saints have major decision due to Derek Carr's injury. Of course, we're going to go over this little giblet of information. But this week, New Orleans Saints supporters have been waiting for. We just 3 days away, and this will be, and we know Mickey Loomis got a press conference coming up here soon. Eventually, the question will be asked about what to do about Derek Carr. You got $150 million paperweight sitting up here that we can't do nothing with. What are you going to do? Are you going to post June 1st cut this guy and get him the hell out of Dodge? Because he ain't nothing but an expensive problem, an expensive, distraction. Is it, what are you going to do with this dude here who don't want to be here? What are you going to do about it? I guarantee you won't give him the Lattimore treatment or the Alvin Kamara treatment. Remember, Alvin Kamara had to wait for his money. Carr got every bit of it. When Lattimore was saying, "Hey man, this is wrong. This is not how we're gonna win. We need this losing is all bad and all this." They seen him as a problem and shifted his contract so they can trade him that during the year that year. They were looking at Laddie Daddy before that. That was the previous year that he was upset that what was going on in the locker room and the losing. So what did dumb Loomis do? He drowned. "Oh, you got to go, buddy. Oh, hold on, goddammit. You're the problem. You're not getting with Dennis Allen over here. You're not getting your own line now. You've got to do what he says." But Mickey, that guy ain't doing what he's supposed to do. He losing the team. I know. Hold on, goddammit. Hold on now. He's the guy. He's the coach. Mickey, he ain't doing what he's supposed to do. Hold on, he is. He's doing everything right. That's how stupid that Loomis was. You gonna trade the guy telling you that, "Hey man, this ain't how we supposed to do it. We supposed to be winning. We ain't supposed to be doing this. Ain't no accountability." See, that guy's the problem. He said the A word, accountability. Oh, that's a curse word here. Oh, we don't line now. Hold on now. Okay, oh, you said a dirty word. Now, you said the A word, accountability. Oh, you got to go, buddy. Oh, but you're on the first thing smoking, buddy. And that's how it went. Crazy. But he didn't give Derek Carr that treatment. I wonder if you're going to give Derek Carr that treatment, Loomis. You going to give Derek Carr the treatment you gave Lattimore? Because you damn sure didn't. You showed that you had to make Alvin wait for his money. Even though he owned all of the records and he had a few yards to get the records, he gonna make him wait for his money. But Carr don't have to do nothing. So I mean, it's an obvious double standard by a stupid guy, a stupid man. It's just really crazy, man. But anyway, New Orleans has a big decision to make when it comes down to the quarterback position due to the fact that Derek Carr is dealing with a shoulder injury. While this is the case, don't expect New Orleans to take a quarterback at number 9 as shared by Albert Breer. You take a quarterback. If one go to you at 9, you take him. You take that guy and you put him, especially if it's Sanders, you take him and you build your team thusly. If he's not there, you pivot to BPA. I get that. But when you need to know, the Saints need to get a younger across the board, and Bayou with this year with this capital, you need to get younger across the board. They've been saying that the last couple of years. You're not going to do it all in one draft, especially when there's no emphasis on the Saints to win 8 or 9 or 10 games this year. Realistically speaking, do we even see that them winning more than 5 games this upcoming season? Realistically speaking. What is the win total for Kellen Moore? To me, that's an incomplete grade. I don't have enough information to even much make that call of how many games they're going to win. I don't have enough information because to me, there's still a lot of stuff that they need to do. You won't get it in the same draft. But then again, over the last several years, the Saints have not been really drafting that well. When you're trying to compound it all, we got to get all these players in the draft. I thought that was a thing we're supposed to be doing every year, compounding. Why didn't we have Demario Davis successor in the building already? I'm just asking. For the last couple of years, Demario Davis ain't just got old. He been old. Tyrann Mathieu, all these other guys, why weren't their successors in the building already? Now all of a sudden, one draft has got to get to replace all these great players that we have in one draft. What were we doing in the previous drafts on Demario's successor, Tyrann's successor, Cam Jordan? They tried on him and failed miserably. Marcus Davenport, Peyton Turner, Isaiah Foskey. Say, okay, we're going to punt on that and just put Chase Young out there. Okay. But what about the other guys? What about them? So, I mean, you ain't going to be able to get them all in the same draft, right? But anyway, let's see what it is. What you need to know, the Saints need to get younger across the board and bail this year with the capital they bought from the Marshawn Lattimore trade. And, of course, we know about all that. But I know there's been a narrative that with Derek Carr's injury, with Kellen Moore now aboard, they'd take or even move up for Sanders. The reality is they've done way more outwork on Jackson Dart than they have on Sanders. I think it stands they'd be way more likely to take an edge player or a tackle than would be a quarterback at 9. They're looking at Williams from Georgia. I don't think he fits with what we got going on, but he's talented. Bigger edge players with sturdiness that Staley has looked for, which mirror what Cam has given the Saints over the years. Banks wouldn't be a shocker either. You know, he's talking about the offensive lineman from Texas. But quarterback could be an option at some point for the Saints, but it doesn't sound like the 9th pick will be it. And this is Breer. This is another insider saying that the Saints go somewhere else. Me personally, I say, if I'm going to say it again, if Shedeur Sanders is there, you take him. You take him. We don't play around with the quarterbacks, dumb Saints. Don't do it. We done played games with these quarterbacks for years. We did the stupidest thing they ever did in the draft in history is they took Marcus Davenport and Lamar Jackson was sitting there. And Lamar Jackson is one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the NFL. You want to talk about how stupid the Saints have been with these drafts and passing over quarterbacks? Good quarterbacks. They passed over them for years in the first 2 rounds, going elsewhere. Now, we got some talented players there, but at the end of the day, we wouldn't be dealing with Derek Carr if we had drafted a young quarterback who could have chaired the team for the next 10 years. We didn't have to deal with quarterbacks or bridgy quarterbacks. We know the Saints had plenty of opportunities to pass on these guys. Don't get cute, is my line. I'm tired of seeing these young quarterbacks, the Saints passing on them, and then next thing you know, the guy come back here and kick your teeth in. You know, at some point you got to pivot and do it and stop being stupid about it. That Lamar Jackson, they took Marcus Davenport over Lamar Jackson is the dumbest thing the Saints ever did in the history of their franchise. The stupidest thing they ever did to take this guy from UTSA, and they knew he was hurt when they drafted him. A day or 2 later, he was having surgery on his hand. And that was a bad omen, and the dude was an utter, unmitigated bust. And Lamar Jackson, all he do is tear up the league. Every time the Saints play him, he kick their teeth in. They can't even stay in front of him. But they getting cute in the draft. No, enough of this cutesy stuff, man. You take the best quarterback that's available. If Shedeur's there at 9, you take him. If he's not, then you pivot to the BPA. And then if you need to go in the second round to get somebody, you do it. But if Sanders is there, you take him. The hell with all these other people talking about. Boy, if you listen to all these insiders, you'd be crazy as a road lizard, man. Because they all saying this different shit just to say something. How could they be all over the place? Y'all inside, y'all getting a million different words at the same time on one prospect? He's a first round pick. No, he's a top 15 pick. He ain't even a 15 pick. He a second round pick. I hear he going in the 3rd round. I heard Shiloh's going to be drafted before he gets drafted. It's just ridiculous. It's just silly. You listen to these insiders, you'll be crazy as roll lizards because they don't know. They all shoot in different ways. Hey, man, all I know is I know what I see. I know what I see, baby, with these two things and this thing here. I know what I see from Shedeur. You take the guy. You take him and let him kick the NFL's ass. That's what you do. If he falls to you, you draft him, you make him compete with Spencer, and you take over the NFL. All these other people, these insiders. Oh, you got this. I played all of them. You hear them? They all saying different things. They saying different things. All of them say how they all in the same building and everybody saying different things. How that work? Well, we know where Cam going, but that Shedeur, boy, I'll tell you, we don't know. He ain't even the first round pick. I'm hearing that Jackson gonna go before him. Jalen Milroe. I mean, shut up. Jalen Milroe is not better than Shedeur. Neither is Jackson Dart. Not even close. There's two top quarterbacks in this class. It is, to me, still Shedeur, to me, and then Cam Ward. 1A, 1B. That's what it's been. It has been that way the entire year up until 2 months before the draft. Well, all of a sudden, he dropping through the flow. Like he got bad joints in the floor. All of a sudden, he stepped wrong. He falling through the damn flow. Man, get out of here with that. You won't trick me with that foolishness, man. And hopefully the Saints not stupid enough to go with this crap. Ain't no bad medicals. Ain't no bad off-field stuff. Ain't no bad stats. Ain't no bad film on this kid. He's a top 10 talent. Take him. How you doing, Dr. Gray? Shout out to you, Quavadius. All right, but anyway, let me see, y'all. Let me get some questions from y'all, fam, before we get ready to leave. I'm going to be here for about an hour time. But like I said, man, I've seen so many Saints drafts. I done seen these people get too cute. Don't get too cute. We don't need to get too cute with none of it. We got enough draft capital. We don't need to get cute. If we need, you definitely need a face of the franchise and at least a quarterback that can compete with Spencer and y'all, they go to that higher level, let them compete. You take Sanders if he's there. And then you get everything else you need if you need to. In a second round, you need to pivot, get you an offensive lineman because they're going to be there. They're going to have linemen there. So we'll see what they do, man. Just don't get cute, Saints. That's what they do every damn year. These quarterbacks come along. We're going to take this other guy. No, if you got a franchise quarterback, don't pass on a franchise quarterback to go get some guy that run and shoot type offense. Not like Jackson Dart, but ain't no comparison there. Ain't no comparison there between these guys. The guy Shedeur is better than Jackson Dart. He is. There's no comparison there. He's better than Jalen. He's better than all of these other quarterbacks underneath him. He's better than these guys. He is. So, I mean, you take the damn guy and move on. All right, anyway, let's go, man. Let's do this, man. Y'all throw them questions in there. What's up, Brother Greg? How you doing, sir? Shout out to you. Hey, happy Monday to you. Happy Who Dat Monday. There you go. This draft week, baby. What's up, Dr. Greg? How you doing, sir? All right. Tiptoe says, I don't like Dart because he wasn't asked to read defenses and we don't know if he can. Is it too much of a gamble to take him even with the second? Accuracy and processing of Shedeur, indeed. Processing, intelligence. That's something that they're not talking. See, these people talking about how tall he is and he's 6'2". Now they breaking him down. He's 6 3/4. What? The man's 6'2". You got him. You took his shoes off when you measured him. People, what? He can throw the ball down. He can make all the throws. He don't have a dynamite arm like Joe Milton. Who does have an arm like that? But it's not about how hard you throw the damn ball. It's not about how fast, if you can run as fast as Jalen Milroe or Jalen Hurts. It's not about that. It's about a quarterback who's highly intelligent that can make all the throws, processes the game, has good anticipatory ability as well, and is a leader. The dude's a leader. He's tough as nails. He got his ass kicked behind that Colorado line. And the guy makes plays. He has the bloodline of Deion Sanders, which that is a caveat within itself because it connects you to Deion. When it comes to see his son, Deion is down here. He's talking to his son, and you have that energy in the building. So that connects you to a Hall of Fame and bringing him down here because his son here. You know, so I mean, in the end, I like the kid. So ain't no need to go we hot and heavy over Jackson. Why? You know, I hear you doing it as a measurement if he don't slide to you because they know they're doing hot and heavy because they know he won't be there. They know he won't be there, baby. All that BS about, oh, he ain't this, that, and the third. Man, this guy, I've been looking, what do you have to justify this? And they're not giving you anything. It's just amazing to me how if they don't like you, how the media people, if they don't like you, they can just put out some shit and drive you down in the ground and people just straight up believe it because they said it. I'm like, where is the critical process? What is the critical thinking process before we believe anything these loudmouth media people on these national networks do? They just be spouting off. Provide evidence and proof why he's sliding like that. They can't because it doesn't exist. I've been saying that for weeks now. I'm like, what information do you have? Did he say something personal that was wrong to somebody? No. Is his medicals bad? No. Did he get, his film bad from college? No. Nothing's wrong. So why is he going down there? It's the damn media. They don't like him. Driving his slot down. Can you believe that? And then we don't ask for proof. Like, what you got for that? What do you have for that? To say this dude is a second round quote. What do you have for that? Well, certain anonymous media people or executives who they don't name is saying that this guy, this, that, and third. Well, that's unverified sources there. How do I know you ain't lying about that? Because what I see, I don't see him sliding at all. I see a quarterback there that if you draft him, he'll kick everybody in the league's ass. That's what I see when I see him. That's what I see him. He's cool. He's poised. He got a similar spirit to like that of Jalen, Jaden from the Commanders. So I mean, they cool, they calm, and then when they need to be, they competitive. But they leaders. They're leaders. They have pocket presence. They got pocket command. That's something that you see some of these guys, they simply don't have. They command the pocket and they situate the game. You got to have a high IQ to play the football, the quarterback position, because that guy got to know where everybody at is on the damn field. And you just get a guy with a big arm to throw it. You had a guy with a big arm that could throw it. You had him here for the last 2 years. How did that work out for you? Justin says, hopefully it's a smoke screen and Sanders is the pick. Thank you, Justin. Appreciate you, bro.
Thank you very much. Picking me up, bringing me back to
We had a guy here that had a big arm and that could throw it downfield. And what that got us? A 14-13 record over the last 2 years with him as a starter. So something telling me it's about somebody that can process and actually smart enough to go through progressions and not just check the ball down 1,000,000 times and talk about how accurate they are, even though they're checking it down 5 to 7 times a game to help out the accuracy rates. Man, no, man. We done pass on these quarterbacks enough. Saints don't get cute with the shit. It ain't rocket science. It ain't Chinese checkers. I tell you, boy, they just make everything difficult. Everything is simple stuff. Them people take it and they just turn it into trigonometry. I mean, you got a preschool math or whatever you're doing right now. I mean, the most basic math that you can do, and they turn it into advanced algebra. I just don't understand. You got 1 + 1 = 2, and then they just flip and turn it into advanced trigonometry. I'm like, what we doing here? What's going on here? It's just crazy. Just do the right thing and take the man if he's available. If you need to go up a little bit, go get him. We are in this all. We have a quarterback for 10 years, fam. He ain't made a paper mache like some people that's dealing with shoulder issues, right? I guarantee you that man won't jump over his wide receiver head, not know how to land, and tongue kiss the turf monster. My bad, bro. I'm sorry, Carr. I ain't mean to say that, brother. I'm gonna retract my statement on that. That tongue kissing the turf monster, that got him. That's the last play of the Carr era was him jumping over the man's head, not knowing how to land, and got a face full of the of the turf monster. Goodness gracious, what are we doing? All right, 504 Cole says Shedeur can learn a lot from Drew too. They're similar because their greatest gift is their accuracy, intelligence. They do poise, pocket poise, bro. It's a lot of intangible stuff. You can't teach this stuff, family. I understand people in love with the sling it everywhere guy, but what about the guy that's smart? He can do all of that stuff. He can make the throws. He ain't running no 4-5, whatever it is. He can move, but I'm saying, man, ain't no, the man there take him. All right, T-Swag says these same fools that said Caleb was better than yes, sir. Thank you. Let me give you a round of applause for that, bro. Thank you, sir. T-Swag 504, shout out to you, brother. That's right, bro. They said that, man. These people don't know it. Then we know they worse than the weatherman. You know that? The weatherman, how we don't go at the weatherman and say, man, all your weather forecasts is cap. You know? We let the weatherman make it all the time. He be wrong all the time. And he got all that shit up there. He got satellites he can look at. He got all this stuff, and he still be wrong. How you got all this stuff here, sir, and you still wrong as two left shoes? How you doing all this? We let him make it. That'd be the same way we let these insiders make it. And then when the man get drafted, they're gonna come out and say, well, you know what, we had information saying that would be the case, you know, and we knew that. No, you didn't. You was the guy that said he wasn't going to the second round. Fam, it's crazy. What's up, Chantel, babe? She's cute. If Shedeur falls mid-teens or 20s, Cleveland will trade up and grab him. They have the first round pick in round 2 and put him with Travis. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can see that, Chantel. Thank you for that. Appreciate you. Thank you. They have capital. Picking me up, bringing me back to this world. To me, it'll be a shame. Now, I know the Saints might like other guys. They're like an offensive lineman and all this kind of stuff. But fam, listen, hear me. The quarterback is the most important position on your team. Not saying Spencer can't have it. That's not what I'm saying. I'm with Spencer. I know a family said, Q, what about Spencer? What about Spencer? What about Spencer? Fam, I hear y'all. And I always talk of Spencer. I say, I like Spencer. But Spencer needs somebody to compete with. And he kicked Jake Haener ass last year, so ain't no competing with Jake Haener. The only reason why Jake Haener got started over Spencer last year is because dumb Rizzy put him up there. And then you see how that went. He had to have unfair advantages given to him by the possum and dumb Rizzy. So, I mean, at the end of the day, there is no competition. Spencer done dispatched Jake Zoolander Haener. He dispatched him thoroughly. So he needs someone to compete with. So I would love to see Shedeur and Spencer compete. I think that would be a beautiful QB room. That's just me, right? That's what I'm thinking. Thank you, Chantel. Appreciate you, baby. All right, Rich says Mickey needs to be out the room when they pick. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you for that. Thank you very much. Picking me up, bringing me back to this world. The only thing I can say about that, fam, is like Mickey. I don't think Mickey Loomis is going to stop Kellen Moore from picking whoever he wants to pick, right? I don't think he's telling Kellen who he could pick, because that's not how Mickey Loomis rocks. Like, he'll hire you and then he'll back away and let you do what you got to do. And if you fail, he'll make lies and excuses for you and that kind of stuff. That's his style, because he's an idiot. He doesn't know how to, because, and the reason why he don't know how to, because he don't have no accountability. He doesn't have any account. Nobody's making him be held to any account. So if you're not held to accountability, how the hell are you supposed to know what it looks like? Well, hold on. I don't do any of that. Hold on. He told the Saints 2 years ago. Remember when they lost? He told them 2 years ago, hold on, you guys are not going to be comfortable around here, goddammit. I'm going to take all these smoking, like Club Saint, those smoke machines and all that shit over there. I'm taking it all out of here. Hold on now. You're not going to be comfortable. And what they do, they lost the next year. A lot of good that talk you gave them, Loomis did. Didn't do any good, Loomis. So they don't respect him. So it's like, whatever, and then he goes into his office, eat clam chowder and gourmet orange juice. Nobody gives a damn what he talking about. But he doesn't get in the way of drafting. Like, he'll turn the team over to you, and then you go ahead on and do what you got to do. And if you fail, then he'll come out and lie for you. That's what he'll do. He'll real lie and ride person, if you know what I mean. He'll lie and ride with you. That's what a lie and ride guy. It's like a ride and die guy. No, a lie and ride guy. He lying and riding with you at the same damn time. All right. Well, I ain't dying nothing. Hold on, I'll lie with you, but I won't die with you. Hold on now. All right. Shout out to you, Rich. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. All right. Let me get a few more here. 504K says Q. Yeah. I got you on that, bro. Cartel says my only worry about them is taking Jackson Dart. His dart came from a one-read system, and he didn't have the process defense go to process much. He stared down receivers at times because of that. And this is the system. This is what KT was talking about. And shout out to KT once again. Gave good commentary about some of these quarterbacks in the system. And he's right. Jackson Dart does have ability. Now, he did have, I think he was at USC early, but I don't think he played that much there. So he transferred out of there, and he spent the system in Lane Kiffin's wide open offense, which gives you quarterbacks a lot of stats, right? It's a fast system. If QB can wing it, he gets stats shoot through the roof. But that's what I was saying about Jackson Dart. He has duality. He does have some of the things that you want to have in a quarterback. He has good side, about 6'2", 225 pounds, somewhere along in there. He has really good speed. I like his speed. He's tough. He has a good arm. He can make throws. He does anticipate at times. But the thing is, too, like you're right, it's a limited system that he was operating with, and it is going to be quite the culture change when he moves from that. Now, how intelligent is Jackson Dart? He's a pretty smart kid. But in the end, why would you want, if you had your picks and chooses between a guy, now that's saying if he's available, if he's there, who that's a gift that he has to be able to anticipate stuff like this and operate a system closer to what we have there, then why not be more inclined to look at that guy? And I'm saying the Saints have a rotten history. Fam, they haven't taken a quarterback since 1971. Who does that? They haven't taken a quarterback since 1971 in the first round. Like, they were so smitten by Archie Manning. We got him. We just the only one we ever need. No. They have other first-round quarterbacks. Saints just pass on them because they get too cute. The quarterback position is the most important position to your team. If you don't have a good quarterback, you're not going to win these games. You're not going to win many games. Byron says Sanders, tremendous, excellent, competitive, true leader. I like him. The Saints should grab him because he's accuracy, and he's a winner. The kid is a winner, indeed. Thank you, bro. Follow Foucault says Shedeur and Gatorade commercial with Kendrick Lamar already. This kid is a born star. I mean, we ready, bro. What's up, Big Valley? Shout out to you, bro. KB says if the Saints had a decent roster, I would draft Shedeur. I heard Mina said that. Mina was like, I wouldn't put. She said Jackson, or I think she said Shedeur. One of them said, now maybe not Mina, but from ESPN, but one of them says that she wouldn't take Shedeur and put him with the Saints. I'm like, why not? Why the hell not? The Saints aren't see this thing about, because they don't pay it. They just look at these stats, these weird categories that these people make up with all this, that, and the third. Man, let's miss me with all that. We watching these games. I know how good my team is. I know how bad my team is. I know why my team failed. They didn't fail because they didn't have good players. They failed because the people that were sitting on top of the team did not know how to get the best out of these players. That's why they failed. You had a GM VP guy who hired a possum who backstabbed his team and didn't know what the hell he was doing. He didn't have any accountability. He floated on the cloud. He looked stupid, and most of the time he was backstabbing his players and he didn't know what the hell he was doing. So it took the entire support base to run this possum out of town, and you got the dumb VP guy making excuses for him. He never apologized for that foolishness either. So we didn't fail because of that and the injuries alone. You had bad decision makers and stupid coaching at the top of the team that led to it. So you got to make sure you correct that off the top. We have to get better leadership, especially at the QB level. That's the main thing we have to really focus on. Quarterback at the top. You cannot win without a good quarterback. I'm not saying Spencer can't be that guy, but we need somebody to compete with him. Because that Rattler is better than Hainer, and that Ben DiNucci dude, man, get out of here with that. No disrespect with Ben DiNucci, but he's a camp arm as far as I'm concerned. He ain't somebody we taking serious to come in there and do nothing for you. Are we real here? English says Shed is the best QB in this draft, bottom line. You're killing the city, Mickey. You're killing the city, Mickey. Mickey ain't tell that man nothing. Look at he doing. His man was telling Mickey Loomis to do his job. What did Mickey Loomis do? He didn't do a damn thing. He don't know what the hell am I supposed to do, Q? God damn it. Well, you know it. Tell me. Hold on now. Where you get your ass up off the general manager position. Give it to Kai Hartley. Go be a VP alone. Leave us alone. We don't want to see you on these pressers no more. Just take your old tired ass somewhere. Give it to Kai. Well, I'm not doing that. Hold on, I'll be a general manager for the next 10 years. Remember he said that? Hold on now, goddammit. But then again, a part of me would miss Mickey because I couldn't do this, like do the Mickey voice. He would disappear. We have a new general manager, and we'd be able to do it. See, it's pros and cons here. I wouldn't be able to do the Mickey voice no more. Hold on, goddammit. See, you need me, goddammit. Hold on, no, we don't need you, Mickey. I'll find somebody else to mock. Get out of here. If we win it, we don't have to mock nobody. Yeah, I'm mocking you to cover the pain. I'm mocking you to cover the pain. I'm laughing to cover up the pain. That's what we're doing. All right. English says Rats are good or better than Dart if Shed's going to get that lineman from Texas to help Elvin and Rat. Thank you, bro. King Chosen one shout out to you, bro. Said, man, they picked someone dumb. I'm going up there and slapping folks like the men in the Chinese dramas. All right, brother. Don't do too much. We don't need you arrested. All right. Pablo said, understand the logic, but now I'm not having a good enough roster to draft Shedeur. That makes no sense. They said that, bro. I played it on the broadcast. The Saints are not a burned out roster. When people talk about the Saints, they mention Chris Olave with all those injuries, but don't mention McCoy. You know, when Chris Olave got thrown a hospital ball with concussions. Better placement there. It happens, but he didn't accrue or he didn't have a whole career of injuries. Those things kind of happened to him within last year and portion of the back. But prior to that, Chris Olave was actually performing out there. Right? But McCoy's been having injuries too. They don't talk about that though. McCoy's having injuries at the center position. The Saints wasn't even prepared. They didn't even have a good backup center behind McCoy. When he went down, they had to shift the line, which is something you ain't supposed to do. You're supposed to have a backup center. People didn't even have what kind of team we running here, man? What are we doing? I'm telling it real. Hey, we didn't have but McCoy. Oh yeah, Chris Olave, he getting banged up all kind of people. But we don't talk about McCoy over there. He getting screwed, messed up too. What's happening with him? What's going on with him? No, you ain't gonna talk about him either. Oh, McCoy's all right. It's that Chris Olave. No, brother. No, man. Nah. It's people crazy. Tiptoe says national media do very little prep to speak on small market teams accurately. It's best to listen to local media, but not indeed, bro. Let me give you a round of applause. That is cool. That's to it.
Talk, boy. He ain't lying.
That's right. All right. Shout out to you. Slim says, hell, nah, hold on to negative. Yeah, the negative noise. Well, that's just negative noise. Well, that's all that is. You call it truth talk. I call it negative noise. So it's negative noise when the supporters try to check you and talk to you about accountability. We give them the answers. It's not hard to tell. All you have to do is look at the team. You'll see all the answers. If injuries is the problem, and they say it's the number one issue, according to with the New Orleans Saints players, you can quote them. Cam Jordan has done a small campaign of running his ass on NFL Network or anybody that stick a mic in his face about the Saints and talk about why they were bad last year is because injuries. That's all he says. He don't talk about how Dennis Allen. So injuries got Dennis Allen fired? Did injuries cause Dennis Allen to backstab his players? in front of the press? Was that injury? See, these guys don't tell a goddamn truth. That's why I have the stance that I have with them, because when you show me that that's what kind of game you with, then this is what I give to you. Either tell the truth or don't say nothing. How about that? Don't say nothing if it's not going to be the truth, because we're going to chop you down, playboy. I don't care who you are. We know this team. And to a degree, we know it better than most of these people that's on it because they're too close to it. The Saints' problem for years have been non-accountability. Hiring a coach like Dennis Allen, nobody in their right mind would have hired Dennis Allen to be their coach. Come on, after he failed like that with the Raiders. He doesn't have those attributes. We knew. Nobody does that. You talk to all these people, they got all this stuff going, you hire him. Nobody would have made that. And even when he was so bad you fired him, you didn't even apologize for hiring him in the first place. Like, you ain't make no mistake. It's crazy. Then the injury monster. They beat up on the injury monster because he don't have arms to fight back. Or a mouth to say, you're a goddamn liar. Your problem with, I wish that man, if I had a superpower, I would give life to the injury monster. I would give him a mouth to talk. Do you not understand what that would be? With the Pelicans and the Saints start just blaming everything on the injury monster, that he just started talking, be like, you know what, that's a goddamn lie. Y'all are a bunch of liars. The reason why y'all lost because you guys, and he started telling the truth. He just started telling the truth on everybody. You know, they beat up on the injury man because he don't want to tell on Dennis Allen. He won't beat up on the injury man. He won't tell on Derek Carr. You see what I'm saying? They don't want to tell the truth and point at the guy that really the problem. They don't want to do that. He beat up on the injury monster. Oh, it was injury excuse straight off the bat. No, it was poor preparation of health. That's what it was. It was a sad-ass health staff that you have. Because everybody deal with injuries. All of them do. Philly had injuries. All of them do. So it's the luck. It's the Lady Luck. It's the one that smiled on Philadelphia. And they'll tell you, ain't nobody was healthy at the end of a long season. That's how you have to build your team. Everybody knows that. You build your team to absorb as many injuries as you can. You have a very good health staff. You find the best. You hire the best soft tissue people you can find, the best bone doctors you can find, rehab people you can find to get your players ready, best dietitians that you can find. Stop me if I'm lying. If you're having such a problem with these injuries, that's what you do. You get the best technology that you can get because Lord knows you got access to tens of millions to billions of dollars. But it's a cheap way to avoid the responsibility of doing what's right. By hiring these players, if I tell these people out here, hey man, injuries, and let them eat it up, while still taking your money and elevating the prices of the tickets. Game upon game. They play games with your family, lie, and the players are lie for them because they're getting paid to lie to you. A lot of them ain't going to tell you the truth. When stuff start jumping, like I told you with that Catholic church, who was hitting them hard? I was hitting them Saints hard about that shit, wasn't I? And I said all these other people will come out with all this fate stuff, but when that was popping, where your boy was at to talk on it. It was quiet as a church mouse. Oh, you roar loud, lion, but when that happens, shh, don't say nothing. That boy was doing the Witherspoon better than Pops Witherspoon was doing. Shh, don't say nothing. That's what he was doing. Marley says, Q, you going live all 3 nights for the, yes, I am, sir. I'll be live. I'll be live every night, bro. Thursday, Friday, and all of Saturday, I'll be live for the draft. Every year we do the same thing. We're going to be in the building, bro. So thank you for that. Appreciate you, bro.
Thank you very much. Picking me up, bringing me back to this world.
What's up, brother Wendell? How you doing, brother? Good to see you out there, man. Much love. Appreciate you. All right. The student, what's up, student? Says D. Allen fired the top medical staff last year, 2023 season, according to Sean Payton, the medical and Michael Thomas. If anything, we need to improve the medical staff aside from poor preparation and coaches. Thank you, bro. A round of applause for you, man. Everybody getting it because they talking. Y'all talking truth.
You ain't lying. Talk, boy.
Y'all talking, man. Y'all talking, brother. Y'all talking. All right. So that's what it's gonna be, man. I just think it's just, it's crazy, man. All right. English says, one last question, Q. He says, who Pops Q want them to do with our it says, who Pops Q want them to do with our draft? He's gonna be on Pops Q is gonna be on the stream for the Saturday edition, bro. Just to let you know, he'll be on the stream then, bro. He was supposed to be this past week and it was gonna pop up, but he was even though it was holiday season, so he was chilling. So yeah, Pops Q, my pops, he'll be on the Saturday stream for rounds 4 through 7. So he'll be doing the stream. He'll be chilling with me. It's good to see him back. Thanks for asking English. Appreciate you, fam. All right. So yeah, Linda says Olave had 5 concussions from 4 different QBs in 4 years. Olave is too small and weak for the NFL. He's not too small and weak for the NFL, Linda. They get concussions, baby. That's what happens. If a guy hits you in the helmet, if you're running out there and the guy knock you in your helmet, you're gonna get a concussion too. It's like I said, in the last couple of years, who was your quarterback? Because a lot of times, and the reason why I'm saying that is because a receiver goes into the territory of a defender. I'm a linebacker. If that guy's coming anywhere, if if that guy's coming in my direction, remember he was coming into where the linebackers at in that area and them safeties was there, and he got kiboshed, he got sandwiched. So there's a couple of times where they don't just concuss themselves. A guy hits you in your helmet, you're gonna feel wobbly weebly. You're gonna end up getting something happen to you. So it's a part of the game. But like I said, a lot of times, if you got a guy that sees the field well, and if it puts you in a danger area. Now it's different when you are single covered with no safety support and you just on out route flying. That's that thing. But that's the part about the Chris Olave game that I was telling people about. It's like Chris Olave plays inside. That's a tough area to play. But a lot of times you have the big physical guys that can handle that going within that tough area to field where those safeties and linebackers roam around in that area. You see what I'm saying? Chris Olave's not a number one. No disrespect to Chris Olave. He would be well served if you put a big physical guy. See, when they originally set it up, it was Michael Thomas and Chris Olave and Rashid Shaheed. That is the proper order. When the Saints then let Michael Thomas go, they came back with Cedric Wilson Jr. I'll remember that. As comical as that sounds, Cedric Wilson Jr. was supposed to take that spot that Michael Thomas was having, supposed to be him and Chris Olave and Rashid Shaheed. All of a sudden, now the Saints are making a terrible mistake about having Olave, Brandon Cooks, and Rashid Shaheed. That's terrible. Chris Olave's not saying that he's not a number one. He works better with a physical wide receiver next to him. So if the Saints would have had the balls or the brains rather to be able to go get one of these big physical wide receivers, and plug them next to Chris Olave, you will see a different world. But unfortunately, like with quarterbacks doing that, they're supposed to protect their wide receivers. They ain't supposed to throw them into hospital balls and then sit up there and say, it wasn't my fault. Hey, it wasn't my fault. I just know he just the guy hit him, and I ain't the reason why. And then when he said that, I would have cut his stupid ass off the team right then and there. You're a liar, and you crazy. So, and in the day, and all the quarterbacks came out and say, man, hey, hold on. And you heard the term hospital ball all the time because you're not supposed to do that. But Chris Olave went to go and get it, trying to make a play. Guy put him on the stretcher. So, it's areas like danger zones. You got to protect your players. If you're the quarterback, you don't want to throw him into a situation where that safety there and he camped there and you trying to fit that in there. If you're going to throw it to him, put it low and away, not high and leave him high and drive. You put the ball low and away because I'm looking for you in there. And I'm supposed to try my best to disconnect you from that football. That's what I'm supposed to do as a defender. So, like I said, man, it's not all on Chris Olave. He's not small and weak. You're using him wrong, number one, and you got to protect your man when you throw him. If you're a quarterback, you're supposed to throw that ball and protect your wide receiver. They know that. They got people that talk about that all the time. So I don't agree. I think Chris Olave is a fantastic receiver. I don't think he's a number one. I think he does well if you put a big physical wide receiver next to him and have Rashid as the third guy. That's where you'll see some flow at. But having him as a number one like this, that's crazy. That's asinine. That's why when they did the Cooks thing, I was like, I don't know what are you doing here? What is this? Unless there was the trade stuff talking about they going to do all that. I'm like, nah, man. Nah. What you going to get for him if everybody's saying this, that, and the third? But like I said, Olave has his issues and all this kind of stuff. And then other guys have the issues, but they kind of skip over that. So, yeah, like I said, I don't think he's small and weak, baby. He got concussions. I don't know if it was that many concussions, though. You said he had 5 of them. I don't remember him having that many. I think he had like 3 or 4 of them. He had 5, Linda? I didn't realize he had that many, but still in all, man, it's how you use these guys. I don't think he's small and weak, though. I mean, I seen Chris Olave make some plays, man. I seen Chris Olave catch that goddamn ball, burn people. They using them the wrong way. That's the problem. What's up, Dr. Gray? Thank you, sir. Appreciate that, man.
I want to say thank you very much for picking me up and bringing me back to this world.
Appreciate you, Dr. Gray. Shout out. Cartel says, Q, I just want to know who leaking all the Saints draft moves and when did we become the hot topic? You heard me? Seemed like everybody chatting about them Saints. Yeah, and it's a good and bad thing, man. The Saints have definitely been looking at trying to just get – I think at some point you got to get it right, bro. That's why, like, I question, like, the whole situation. Like, the Saints really need a big physical wide receiver. I was saying that. That's why then there's mock drafts saying, oh, right, Ted McMillan's there at 9. That could be the talk. The Saints might want to pivot there. I hear you with that, but all I know is, listen, you get your quarterback and then everybody else after that. Get the guy, because the Saints they have good offensive linemen. You got a few guys right there you got to work with. You got to build that depth. You bring in veterans. Saints got $20+ million in free agency. And the next layer of free agency after the draft, you get a de-escalated value on some of the rest of these veterans that's remaining. You put some of your college free agents there, do that, add a couple of veterans to kind of accentuate the depth positions of your offensive line, and you roll like that. Bottom line, no, they might not see Pierce there, or you get the quarterback later on, but in the second round, you get what you're supposed to do. And if third round, Savion Williams, whoever, I mean, you go for it. Get the guys that you need. You ain't going to be able to capture everybody in this draft. That's why you're supposed to put drafts together. So what the hell the Saints been doing the last 3 years? All of a sudden now we got to swing for the moon and the stars in one draft. I'm like, what the hell we been doing the last couple of years? They supposed to, Linda, baby. Yeah, they targeted Olave on the play. That's what they supposed to. They get paid to dislodge him from the ball. That's what you do, baby. That's what I did. You come anywhere near me, I'm going to put you on the ground and try to knock the ball from you. I'm supposed to disconnect the ball from you. I'm not trying to, do what they did, because they stood over him with Carr. They didn't want to put the man in the hospital. But that's why they're not paid to protect you. They're paid. Them guys trying to knock your ass out. This is real. It is your stupid quarterback that needs to protect his wide receivers. He's supposed to see where he's throwing to. Before you throw that ball, you scan that field. That's what he's supposed to do. And he's supposed to know where them safeties at. And know that where that ball is. And a dumbass quarterback like Carr don't put the ball high so the safety can put him on the stretch. He's supposed to put it low and away. This is how it go. That dumb quarterback did that to him. He ain't put himself on the stretch. I doubt a few people will do that. That dumb quarterback did it. And that's why his ass is sitting where he's sitting at right now, because he's scared to face the Who Dat Nation. He don't want, it's all this stuff of, my shoulder hurt. Not a professional. That's not a professional. You can't talk your way out of this third season. You don't have Dennis Allen there to protect your ass. $150 million, show up and show out. He can't. So I got, oh, my shoulder hurt. Oh my God, I might have to have surgery over here. Man, cut it out, man. That's the whole point. You could take the money and run. I like the song say. Take the money and run. And we still got this dude sitting up here. It's a bad example for the team, man, making $150 million with 14-13 record. And his players, he arguing with his players, and they know the playbook more than he do. What kind of leader is this? This guy's a joke, man. He's a joke. That's why a lot of the Who Dat Nation did not like him, because he did all of this talking and then not enough wins here for $150 million. But it really ain't his fault. He took the money anyway, right? What they were supposed to do, turn it down? You got a stupid accountant named Mickey Loomis giving him the money. He backs the Loomis truck up to him. Don't take all of this stuff. Hurry up. Gail's not watching. She's at her poker game. Oh, I know, and you take it on out of here, Derek. Crazy people, man. Wendell says, Q, I 100% agree with you, brother. Thank you, Wendell. Appreciate it. I mean, it's just real spill, man. I'm just telling it, family, listen, I'm not a national guy. I'm not. I'm a real deal person. I don't like no narratives ain't about the truth. That's just what I am. You're not going to I'm a guy that has a high degree of discernment because I asked the Most High for you. He blessed me with it, and he can do the same for you. You ask for it. Ask the Lord for discernment and be blessed with it. Really mean it in your heart. Now, I ask the Most High for discernment all the time. I ask him for clarity. I ask him for clairvoyance. I ask him for a lot of things, and he gives it to me. Just like a responsible father would do his child. He'd give him the things that he asks for that he knows that he needs. I say, help me with my memory, Lord. Help me say these words better. All these African players and all these other people, I be messing up. He's still working with me on that. But the rest of it is fluent, baby, let me tell you. And I'm just telling you, at the end of the day, a lot of the stuff that you hear, it just be stuff somebody write on the teleprompter. That don't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense for somebody to tell you year after year that the reason why we losing because of injuries and don't do anything about the injuries. That don't make any sense, right? $150 million for a quarterback, and he got a 14-13 record. He doesn't want to show up to the facility, and he's hurt, but he on YouTube pages driving the car with no discomfort in his face when he turning the steering wheel, and he's supposed to have an injury to his arm. Yeah, he taking trips to Paris and all that, smiling and everything, doing all that, and he's supposed to be down here rehabbing. And he says he's hurt, but he took the money, but nobody gets at him. I'll get at him. I'll get at him. Don't worry. I'll get on him. I'll get on him. I'll get on, don't worry, because that's not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to be a professional. I don't care if you don't like if Dennis Allen got fired or whatever the case may be. You're still supposed to be a professional and be down here handling your business. Amazing, man. KT says it's still still on site. Shout out to you, very much. Picking me up, taking me back to this world. Just bottom line, man. It's crazy. It's crazy work. Jack says, Big Q, next interview with Derek Carr, someone should ask him, are the answers still in the building? Yeah, the answers are still in the building. But fam, listen, I know people like Derek Carr out there. I'm not mad at you for liking Derek Carr. Trust me. I'm saying you don't let the like get in the way of the truth. You know what I'm saying? I get people, you like people, but fam, that's the wrong thing to do, because when you do that, you totally absolve them from things that they're responsible for. I know you like some of these guys, but do not do them the disservice of not checking their asses when they do stuff that's wrong. I like a lot of the players, but it won't stop me from getting on them about when they out here misrepresenting and telling things that I know is obviously not true. I like Cam a lot, but y'all see me get on Cam when he out here lying about injuries and don't talk about all this other stuff that's going on with the Saints. That they don't have leadership and accountability and all that. You never hear him say none of that. Why? Because it might mess up his little paycheck. But at the end of the day, I don't care. If you're not going to tell the truth, then don't tell us nothing, man. Don't tell us nothing, bro. You know? So, Linda, you can like them, baby. I see what you say. The Saints are 0 games and 2 full years without Carr. Saints record with Carr is terrible. I hear you on that. And also throw Dennis Allen in there, sweetheart. Derek Carr, you love Derek Carr. I ain't mad at you for liking Derek Carr. But check Derek Carr's ass from not being down here. What's the reason why Derek Carr's not here? I mean, I hear you with that. I hear you with them lost. No, none of the rookies, so the young quarterbacks won any games. You know, Derek Carr won 14 games. Now, explain to me why Derek Carr is missing, is down here trying to break his contract when he's supposed to honor it. Explain to me why he's being a bad pro. We gonna give him any blame at all? Or we gonna let him make it? Huh? Don't he deserve any accountability? We're gonna give him. We gonna make his ass pay or what? What we gonna do? The right said 150 million. This fool doing Michael Jackson in the end zone. Players look at this fool. You know, I like I said, Derek Carr is simply what he is, man. But right now he's a poor professional. Got a contract, honor it. Kathleen says, "Q, do you think the Saints will trade Taysom Hill?" I don't think so. I don't think they trade Taysom Hill. He got 1 year left on his contract. I think the Saints could use Taysom Hill. But I think at this point, what is Taysom, in his mid-30s now? You know, so I don't know if I think about Sean Payton liking him and all that kind of stuff, but Taysom kind of getting up in age, and he had that horrible leg issue. So I mean, hopefully he'll be ready for the season. I'm not certain. We have to wait and see on that. But yeah, I don't think they trade him in my book, Kathleen. Thank you. All right. Linda said DA sucks. Okay, all right. But Carr doesn't suck, just DA. Who brung him here? Okay, I got you, Linda. I got you, baby. I'm going to let Linda go ahead and Linda loves her some Derek Carr. I ain't mad at you, Linda, baby. That's all right. All right, that's all right. We love you here, Linda. We might not like Derek Carr very much, but we do love you, Linda. English says, I have always been a Carr truther. Phony. A Carr truther? Carfax. Professor says, I agree, student, what you take. All right. Thank you, Professor. What will students take, Professor? Shout out to the professor, man. All right. What Cartel say? All right. Cartel says, yeah, I was high on him too until I saw how he gets pushed around out there and stood up against the good old line. He's really raw. Okay, y'all lying. All right. So, yeah, all I say, what's up, Wendell? Wendell says, yeah. But that's just my take on it. Giovanni says Taysom been real quiet this offseason. What's up that? He's rehabbing, bro. I mean, last time I heard, bro, you remember he had that terrible injury. What's up, Colorado? He's been rehabbing, bro. So we'll probably get a something on him as we get close to the camps and people start getting the questions about where Taysom Hill is and all that. But from what I've been hearing the last time, bro, he's been rehabbing. Y'all remember that horrible leg issue that he had? He got carted off the field there because Clint stupid ass act was doing all this stuff where he was overusing the man. It's just, man, I'm just so glad these people are gone, man. They just was some time wasting people, man. What is there to love about an unreliable, broke down ass? People like Derek Carr, bro. They like his personality, but I often caution people to split the two up. It's not an indictment about who Carr is in his personal life. The call is, what is he doing on the field in terms of, is he impacting winning? That's what the thought process is. I often caution people to not put these people together, like you separate one from the other, because people, when they hear you giving real searing critiques, they think you're attacking them personally, and that's not the case. I don't care what he's doing personally. Now, I made mention of the fact that he's doing this because it correlates with the fact that he's saying hurt. If he's saying he's hurt, then obviously you would correlate the fact that you see him turning steering wheels and no discomfort in his face, but yet saying he's supposed to get surgery because it's impacting what he's doing on the field. That is the time when you do correlate. But any other situation, I care not about what's going on. If you need surgery, get the surgery so you can get ready to play football because you have 2 years remaining on your contract. Whether we like it or not, you still abide by the contract. And to my knowledge, the Saints didn't do him wrong. They didn't do him wrong. They got rid of Dennis Allen, and when that happened, he knew his protection was gone. He wanted to get traded, but instead, he told the Saints people in reports that, no, I'm not going to take a pay cut, but I'll restructure. And now all of a sudden, he's mad that Mickey Loomis restructured his contract after he told him that he would take a restructure. Now he's mad about that. So That's totally foolishness there. So like I said, that's how I do it. I separate the two, because if I like you and I don't separate the two, I'm never gonna criticize you. I'm like, that's my boy. I ain't gonna criticize him. That's my guy right there. I'm not gonna criticize him. And he be screwing up and I won't tell him the truth because I like him. I'm like, that's my guy. I ain't gonna tell him that he put the wrong shoe on. He got 2 left shoes on. But that's all right. He's all right. He got the shirt on backwards. Hey, that's all right. That's my guy. He walking out there in front of people. Man, why you into? You got boogers in his nose? Yeah, I ain't gonna tell him nothing. That's my guy. And you walk, man, you cheat, I have these boogers. I'm like, hey brother, you my guy. You cool? I'm cool with you. The boogers they'll be all right with the boogers in your nose. But people can't separate the two, is what I'm saying. Like you can't do that. You got to separate this dude from who the player is and judge the player on his merit. Is he contributing to winning on the field? That's all the people care about. When you take $150 million, that's what they're going to do. They're going to do that. Jack says, explain why Spencer Rattler had to start against all playoff teams except your boys Raiders and Derek Carr playing broke teams. Record don't mean nothing without perspective. All right. KT says, Q, more draft gems. Dante Trey Jr., Isaiah Neuer, Jamon Dumas Johnson, Higgins. I know Higgins, and Deion Walker, David Walker. You talked about Waxter, brother KT, in the last broadcast. I went and looked him up. And Khalil Mullins. Okay. All right. Thank you, bro. Yeah, KT putting it there. All right. Professor says A.T. Perry should not have been cut. Yeah, I remember A.T. Perry. For breaking news, DNA Tooth Podcast says Saints are trading Rashid Shaheed for a 2nd-round pick to the Denver Broncos. All right. Is that a fact, brother? Is that a fact? DA2, I've not heard that, my friend. Let me do some research because I don't think that is the case, sir. So we shall see what's going on with that, because that don't make any sense at all. But then again, I don't think that's the thing, bro. No, I don't see that. I don't see that, brother. I mean, maybe that's what you want to happen. He wants that to happen. But that's maybe on Madden, my friend, but it ain't happening in real life, my brother. I don't see that here. Hold on, make sure. That's one of my sources there. Let me see here, fam. Give me a second. Yeah, but I don't see that at all, brother. I don't see that at all anywhere. All right, bro. Maybe that's what you want to happen, my friend. All right. Anyway, man, all I can say, bro, is that we're going to see what they do, man. We're going to see what these people do in the upcoming draft. Like I said, we'll see if it's Shedeur or not, man. All I can tell you, man, is that it's going to be interesting, fam. It is going to be very interesting, to say the very least, on who they take. And like I said, if Shedeur is there, I'm taking Shedeur Sanders. I'm telling you straight up. All right. Mont says, and there's a few more comments. If Carr had been visible between the end of the regular season and now, we would maybe feel differently about him staying one more year, but being a prick. So now he understands. Yeah, I know, Jerry. Yeah, I looked it up, but you never know, bro. So I looked it up to verify, bro. That's what I do. All right, but yeah. Yeah, Derek. Yeah, it's gonna be hard. You're gonna be hard pressed to defend Derek Carr nowadays, man. To be honest with you, and I understand people like the man. It's such a shame, man, because a lot of people so good, man, and some of these people, they don't even deserve that, man. They don't deserve it, man. They really don't deserve. Some of these people, they have some really good people in the Who Dat Nation, man. They're willing to give you a shot, but a lot of this stuff is terrible. This is what. Basically, like this little thing right here, that y'all don't know if y'all seen this right here, this guy. This is like what happened with the Who Dat Nation all the time, right? Like this old fella right here, he's driving. I think he on the road somewhere. Y'all seen this before? The guy driving and he stops to get a bite of his burger. I think I don't know where he is. This is a highway or whatever, but this is like what happens to the Who Dat Nation every year when we deal with the Saints, right? We just sitting there, we eat some good food, and it's like, man, we're gonna get the Saints a chance. And the next thing you know, this is what happened. Every damn year, this is how it goes for the Saints. Every day it's never good, and then all of a sudden it's not good. It's all good at first. We eating, we chilling, man. We gonna be good this year, baby. And then all of a sudden, it ain't good no more. It's shit flying everywhere. We don't know what's happening. That's what's happening. That's every year. It's the Who Dat Nation, man. This is perfect for what we go through. And man, we get some good food. Man, hold on, man. We take a bite of this. Man, we're gonna have a great year. And you know, I'm just feeling, whoa. Burger flying, hat gone, everything gone. Shit gone. Hands in the air. Like we just don't care. I don't know. This is how it literally is in the Who Dat Nation, man. Y'all know it. Stop playing. We started the season off year one, rolling good. Man, Q, we about to do something, bro. Yeah, man, we doing it, bro. Hey, man, we got some good food here, bro. We chilling. Man, the Saints got it, bro. We gonna win. And then, you know, next day, come on. What happened to his hat? Hat gone. Burger gone. He ain't lose. He kept that food in his mouth, though. I'll tell you one thing. Oh, man, bro. That's how it is in the Who Dat Nation, bro. Just like this poor fella, man. This a Who Dat, man, obviously, bro, because he feel our pain, man. He feel our pain. The next thing you know, he waving him like he just don't care. I mean, that's that. Put your hands in the air and wave them like you just don't care. That's there. All right, so anyway, man, let me stop playing, man. Let me get ready to get on up out of here, man. Listen, I appreciate y'all for tuning in on stream today. Much love to the fam. Appreciate y'all, man, for what y'all do and how y'all do, fam. Listen, the draft is this week. It comes up on Wednesday. Well, listen, Mickey Loomis is supposed to be, making a press conference. It's supposed to be on Wednesday, so we're going to cover that. We'll have reaction to the Mickey Loomis and whatever the Saints, Kellen Moore and all those guys supposed to be having the presser. We'll recap. We'll react to that. Also, Thursday, first day, round one for the draft. We'll be here for that. Friday, rounds 2 through 3, we'll be here for that. And then, of course, the full day of Saturday, which I think it starts at 11 p.m. We'll be here at 11 p.m. and we'll basically run the length of the day, which probably be somewhere around between 6 and 7 o'clock. Pops Q will pop up. We'll have KT to chime in as well on some of the draft selection. We'll also open up the phone lines for some of the family members to chime in on their thoughts about the draft as it's completed. We'll be there monitoring the undrafted, the UDFAs part of the after the draft. That's a very important segment too, to see who the Saints are signing as far as the UDFAs for the upcoming season. We'll have all that and thought process on the and grades on the complete draft. We'll have more of a crystallized look at the team and see exactly what they're building. We see some of the free agency stuff, and we'll see how the Saints accentuated with the draft. We'll cover all that draft week. So anyway, pickups to you. I don't know what happened there. Yeah. Linda said, what happened? What's going on? He stopped and called. Yeah, from what I see, Linda, he stopped in the street to get him a bite of that sandwich, and he was just supposed to hit it and go. But the flavor of whatever the sandwich is capsulated them, and next thing you know, hats flying, he waving them like he just don't care, all that stuff going on. All right. So, yeah, isn't that crazy? You got a crazy people crazy. He ain't lose that damn food, did y'all? Y'all see that? He did not lose. He didn't lose that sandwich at all. That sandwich was still in his damn mouth. Man, you like, look how slow he bit into it, man. One more again of this. Look how he bit it. He's like, oh yeah, let me get some of that. All right. Look at it. He's studying on it too long. But he didn't lose. He was going back for a second bite. Bro, take a bite and keep going. What you doing, bro? He kind of greedy. He tried to go back for a second bite. This is when greedy. This is when being greedy get you killed, man. Now look at he first of all, barely everything in there. All right, he slow down. You know, he slowed down. He getting a little nibble. Okay, I got you. You hungry? Yeah, he got a little nibble. All right, there you go. Now put that damn sandwich down. Okay, got another bit. He about to go back again. That's what got him in trouble. Hat and sandwiches in the back seat. It might be out the car. You never know. All right, anyway, man, let me cut it out. I'm going, man. I'm going to holler at y'all, man. Y'all do me a service. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. By all means, feel free to share the show on your social media feed. Check out our links in the description section below. If you're not a sub up. If you haven't hit that notification bell, hit that notification bell. Like I said, the links are in the description section and the chat to help out the platform. Show our sponsor some love. He keep bringing you really good content. Like this greedy bastard almost got his butt knocked off by going back for a second nibble. You can't make it up. All right, anyway, I'm going to holler at y'all next time. I'll be back on Patreon tomorrow. Much love. Who Dat Nation. Peace.
Yeah. Boogie like Benson, I'm a Who Dat. I'm a Who Dat. Long as I'm living, I'm a Who Dat. Lose or winning, I'm a Who Dat. Sports Coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a Who Dat. I'm a Who Dat. Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like Elf. I thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shame for the championship. Bucking on town, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy, then you probably smell the crooked referees on Roger Goodell. Yeah, probably like this, and I'm a Who Dat. Every day I'm living, I'm a Who Dat. Lose or winning, I'm a Who Dat. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like this, and I'm a Who Dat. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion with the largest selection of odds on everything from NBA and college basketball to NHL and UFC. BetOnline continues to be your number one sports betting source for every three-pointer to hat trick. BetOnline has you covered with odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline, the game starts here.
WhoThatDaily.com. That's right, the WhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, and even the top-flight boxing news. So if you're a Who Dat and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, WhoThatDaily.com is your site. The WhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who Dat in all of us. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. And remember, it helps the platform continue to grow. Check out the Pro Shop and Who Dat Too.